welcome to Dragon, a game about a dragon. Technically speaking, I've run this game for about 3-4 years now. Just never had a video recorded. I'm also doing post-commentary on this because the live version that I had, the audio balance was absolutely terrible. And I did not realize until like 2 days later. But anyway, so yeah, Dragon, game about Dragon. The story is that your girlfriend gets kidnapped by this king because the king does not want any more dragons roaming his kingdom. So you're gonna go through and save your girlfriend. With that, time will start on start, just like that. We're gonna skip through the story, and we're gonna go to our first level. It's gonna be kind of the tutorial level here. In this, as you can kind of see in the splits, I want about 30 gold before the end of the level, which is just the first 3 enemies. We're gonna fall down here and grab the flame topaz. That's gonna give us 1,000 gold. What we're gonna use the gold for is after the 3rd level, we're actually gonna upgrade our attack. It's 500 gold to do the first upgrade, 1,000 to do the second, and 1,500 to do the third, 2,000 to do the fourth, 2,500 to do the fifth, etc., etc. Each one is an additional 500. So the second level here is going to introduce what's the word I'm looking for? The sheep that are that want a revolution. They are revolting? That's not the word I'm looking for. We're going to jump up, grab the leaf charm. That's going to increase our flight, because even though we're a dragon, our flight is not good. So similar to the last level, we're going to want 180 gold. However, that includes the 30 that we already, or 40, I guess technically in this video, that we already grabbed. So I just need at least 180 total. So here come the sheep. They're mad because Dragon actually interrupted their meeting. But we went over the gap, so we're safe now. Except they're going to descend from space. So we're going to come through here. We're going to just ignore the last 2 enemies because we had enough gold. So we're going to go to the 3rd level. There's no story intro on this one, but it's basically we're just going to go to the right. We're just going to kind of basically do a lot of leaps of faith. Not really the best level design in it, but you know, it still works because we're on top of buildings, so it's safe to assume that we're going to get onto buildings. So with this one, we're just attacking the enemies. We're using the claw attack because it's actually the quickest. As opposed to the fire breath. And that's also because the claw is about 3 times as strong as the breath. We're gonna fall down here to grab 2 more enemies. The last 2 enemies, to be precise. And that'll put us at about just under the 550 that I say. It's really you only need 500 to be safe. But with the way the enemies work out for the coins, you can't get exactly 500, so you'd rather get over. So this first boss, they're bandaged up in something. I don't actually know the story behind this, but I can't attack them unless if they have the sparks going around them. I just realized the splits are in front of the boss there, so this attack here is the best attack for the boss to do, because it's easy to dodge, and it will automatically put them in a vulnerable state. But it's all based on luck, so there's not much we can do. There are various attacks. So we have the orbs that they launch. You have that yellow beam that they launch. The 2 lightning bolts that they launch across. And then, of course, the swipe attack, which you can't tell where it's going to be. It'll be either up top or down below. And you won't know until they actually start swiping. So that is the first section. Now we're going to go to the second section here. And after each boss, you actually get an orb. I take that back. You don't get it after every boss. The first boss, you get electricity. The second boss, you get ice breath. But we'll cover that later. So now the rest of the game is basically we're just gonna go through and beat the levels as needed and grabbing any final items to help upgrade. Because later on, we'll actually get an item that gives us 5,000 gold, and that'll help us get our final level upgrades. I apologize for the duck sounds. That's just those are gold splits in my splits there. Coast of the Dragons 2, very straightforward. You're just meeting up with a friend, and it's literally you jump through that lake and you fly over and you're there. It's like a 30-second stage. There's a lot more to it, but when you're just trying to beat the game, you just gotta go to the end. So we have Coast of Dragons 3. In this stage, we will see the sheep again, which we will actually talk to the pirate captain. That's right, this game's got pirates. And the pirate captain will actually give us a cape, which will increase our flight again. Because we need all the flight that we can. So once they launch the cape, it's going to fall down. So we're going to fly backwards and grab that cape. It's the Cloak of Gus. His ship's flag featured a skull and crossed kitchen utensils. Not 100% sure why it's kitchen utensils. And now it's just get to the end. Shout out to marching bands. They are apparently a deadly weapon. So coming up, we are going to fight the Admiral. Easiest boss in the stage because we don't actually really have to do anything. The Admiral's just going to destroy their ship on their own accord. So we dodged the missile, so you have the top-down strike. You'll have a missiles from the right to the left attack, potentially. And then you also have a potential for lasers. Those are really the 3 attacks that you will see. I forgot to mention, too, potential flashing lights warning here, because the entire ship flashes white when damaged. Luckily here we can jump over the missiles. We can actually ride them. Pretty easy. Yeah, and it's straightforward, so I'll let you guys enjoy this in quiet here. So once you start seeing explosions all over the place, that means the battle's done. That boss fight is all luck, really. So now we're gonna go to the toxic territories. And first stage, we're just gonna go all the way left. It's pretty straightforward. It's also gonna introduce a few new enemies, so they're launching poison at us now. There's the electric horse riders. Fairly easy stuff. We're gonna get hit by the poison ball. They're like fireballs, except made of poison. So that's the first stage. The second stage, there are no enemies. We're actually escaping a wall of fire. And in this stage, this is where we're going to get the item that's worth a lot of money. So in this, I switched to Ice Breath already. I have to freeze all of the water that we see. If I don't, we cannot get the 5,000 gold item. So you can beat the stage really quick if you go like the bottom route, but we got to take the top route to get all of the water and to get that 5,000 gold item. So it's a stressful level, I will say that, because you are on a time limit. You also have a limit on your breath, as you will see here. So I am technically stuck here now. Luckily, the flames will move slowly. So now we'll jump up. We're going to jump up all the way, and as you see there, there's the gemstone. That will be worth 5,000 gold. It's the Wishing Star Garnet. And it's gonna get its chance to shine as Dragon's Paperweight. Woo! So now it's just beat the level. So we're just gonna go to the left, climb up, and we will fall down to the fire. So now, before we go to the next level, we're actually gonna go back to Grasslands 3 because we gotta fly over this way. It's not gonna make it there, so we're gonna start exit level. Realized I forgot to upgrade too. I'm supposed to do that before I enter this stage. So with that 5,000 gold, we upgrade to attack 4, support 3, and breath damage 3, I think is what the third one was. It was just on the screen. I should have paid attention. But anyway, so we're over here. We're gonna get the Helm of Momiji. Momiji Helm. It's from the Tale of Momiji. He just wants to, like, chillax and have fun, you know? So now that we've got that, we're gonna go to King's Forest rather than the Toxic Territory 3. So the King's Forest, you can actually approach this area either from the top like we did or from the bottom. And so that's also why you'll see King's Forest 3A and you don't see like a King's Forest 2, because King's Forest 2 is from the south, as well as 3B, which they will each go to King's Forest 4 afterwards. So you kind of get to choose your own adventure. You can play all the levels if you want. There's no reason to in any percent. There's also a Coast of Dragons 4, which we never go to. So we're gonna go in this underground area. And I think there's an exit up top, but it's quicker to go down. And I think the top will take you to the top part of 3A. So 3A, we're in a cave with flames. And there's actually a backup strat here that we can do a lot later. So you can't actually fly in that cave to the right. And the lava does 12 damage. But you can damage boost on the fireballs. And over on the right, there's an item that increases your HP. It's kind of nice. So we're going to wait for the fireball to fall, because we cannot see where it's at up above. We're going to destroy this enemy so that we can jump across. we're just gonna keep jumping. So now we're just gonna try to avoid the fireballs as well as the flying symbols that are coming from trombones. Yo, shoutouts to trombones and their ability to shoot symbols, I guess? Climbing up here, it's just a straight shot to the end. Coming up in King's Forest 4, we're going to be in a giant tree, and near the end, we're actually going to kill these vines to get an acid gem, which gives us acid breath. So we're just gonna, it's just your kind of your standard platforming. Constantly getting hit by enemies. If you get hit, you can't actually reset your flight, so you actually have to land again to fly. I'm gonna be completely honest, that route I don't take anymore. I don't know if it's because I just forgot to take it, or if because the other way was faster, but I don't recall ever taking that route. So there's our sheep again. They're an instant kill like always. We'll be jumping up here. We switched to ice breath because we need the ice first to destroy the kill the vines, and then we got to switch to fire and completely destroy it. So we got the acid heart. It's a tasty looking gem in the eating tree, and it was so tasty that dragon just ate it. So we got heartburn, which is what gives us acid breath. That will come in handy in Toxic Territory 3, where we actually have to use acid breath to melt a rock. So coming up, we're going to fight the Warden and their synthetic hair. And they've got a lot of attacks. So the first one will be their hair wave, which only works if this bottom part where I am flaming is still there. Then we have the hair grab, which is ideal because the hair grab takes us right up to the Warden, allows us to shoot fire in our face, or in their face. So then we got the hair spikes, which their hitbox is a little weird. I still don't have that quite down. But they telegraph all their attacks. The hand going across is the wave. Pointing is when we get the attack. The ball sphere is the hair spikes falling down, and then hand down is the hair spikes coming from the ground. So this fight's all based on luck. Again, it's all which attacks are we going to get, where all the items are going to fall. Ideally, we would just get a lot of those hair grabs, because that's the easiest way to damage the Warden. And then we've got, so it looks like the hitbox for those are, I still don't even know. Reason I'm not using the fire breath when it looks like I should be, as because I'm actually out of the attack power. I could do claw swipes, but also I will die, apparently. That is unfortunate. Luckily, it's not the end of the world. It's just a small time loss. The time loss is equivalent to however long we spent in the fight, plus a little bit of menuing on the overworld screen. So I will say the final battle of the game, extremely difficult. So you'll see the game over happen a couple times there. So, I don't think there's a whole lot more to say on this fight. So, I will let you enjoy the rest of this fight in silence. If there's anything else that comes to mind, I will mention it. Oh, I suppose I should also mention, yeah, when she grabs me with the hair, I try to get as close as possible. And sometimes I will, if I time it right, I can jump up, and it'll grab me mid-air, and that'll just save a few frames of actually hitting her. Okay, and once the house dissipates and she falls to the ground, that is the end of that fight. So now we're going to go up to Toxic Territory 3. And we're just going to try to get to the end. So in this stage, we're going to climb up a mountain. And then once we get to a platform of the bushes here, right behind the trombonist, we're going to walk to the cave to the left, which is blocked by a giant boulder. I don't think I'd say it's a small boulder the size of a large boulder. But we're going to attack it with acid breath. Once it's melted, we're going to go through, and we're going to get the turnip liquor, and that increases our acid armor damage. And we're just going to fall down, and now it's just a stroll to the left. And now we are at the Brothers Workshop. And so the brothers, it's a two-person fight. They're both robots. And so, of course, lightning will hurt them. This is an interesting luck pattern because normally the guy in blue is the first one down, and the guy in red, the one that's kind of launching across, he will fly up top, and usually he's the second one to that we defeat. So it doesn't happen that often. It's actually fairly rare. I think in multiple runs, I've only seen that happen twice? 3 times if you count my casual playthrough, if I remember right. So he likes to bring science terms from the sides. So now, the brothers switch. Normally it's not a matter of how much damage you've done, because you can one-cycle each of these. It's just a matter of how much time they've been on the ground. So the flame guy there, he's got 2 attacks. He rams with his back to you, and then he will launch fire across. So now that you see him exploding, that means he's done. The guy in blue, we've seen multiple attacks. He disappears, he'll reappear and do a swipe, and he appears on the other side. He also summons the science terms. And now that he's exploding, he's gonna fly up, and that is the brothers. They both have other attacks, but we don't see them because we interrupt them. So now we enter the barrier zone, which we can only pass if we've defeated those 4 bosses. The brothers, 61, Admiral, and the Warden. So in the castle approach, we're going to fall down here, and because we're a dragon who knows how to fly, we're going to do the sensible thing, and we're just going to hitch a ride on a car. I mean, if you were a dragon who could fly, wouldn't you just ride a car? So this is going to come all the way across to the bottom part here. It is the fastest route. You could take the top, but it's also full of enemies. Down here, it's just civilians. Can't really do anything. So now we're just going to hop up the steps here. And we are at the castle. And that is Castle Approach. So coming up will be the quote-unquote final battle, where we're going to fight 4 ninjas. So in this part, we're just going to duck here because we are safe right where we start. The red and purple ninjas will actually hurt each other. The purple ninja will hurt the red enough that he will disappear. Then the other 3 will start doing their special attacks. It can be noted that you can damage and kill the ninjas up top by directing, kind of guiding the enemy attacks to them. However, you can soft lock. I have learned. I had the purple ninja kill the green one. As soon as the green one was killed, the yellow and purple did not do any attacks, and I could not attack them. So then, yeah, we just had to lose the start the battle over, which was unfortunate. This just ends up being the fastest way. Once you kill the purple ninja, the green ninja will come down, and once you kill the green ninja, the yellow ninja's like, I'm out. You can only attack the purple ninja after the special. Any other times it'll kind of do a fake out kind of animation. And there's the king in the background. He's just kind of like, yeah, let's see what's happening. What's going on? So it just becomes kind of a, let's kind of dodge all these. The king just saw the purple ninja disappear, and he's just like, what? So we're gonna use lightning on the green ninja because he's lightning based. And so it's basically just a game of hopscotch. Because the yellow ninja will continue putting the attacks in the same spots, and the green ninja will do that. Once the green ninja's gone, the king's just like, what's going on? And then the yellow ninja disappears. The king's frustrated, throws his crown. And that's the final battle. So now we're going to come up to the final island. Now this is probably the hardest fight in the game. Also, the control stick is very sensitive. So the general's just going to come attack us. We're going to just stand here, chill, and... Oh, hey, look at that, we defeated the general. And now we're gonna fight the king. The king has 5 different attacks. One is launching the fist. The other is summoning a lightning storm, which gives us a lightning beam. The other is the fire gem on his cloak there. And then he's also got a rod that summons icicles. And he will also bring his head down and launch laser beams. So this is like an undodgeable attack right here. I don't know how they expected that, but we will just continue attacking the king. You can destroy each of the different parts. So during the lightning storm, if you launch lightning, it'll actually go up and attack the port on the back of the king's robot. It's not really worth it, I found. It's it ends up resulting in a lot of unneeded damage. So we attack the fist with the acid. Once the fist blows up, he doesn't attack that anymore. We're not looking too good here, because each attack does like 3 damage, at least. So we're looking at 1 more hit on us. It's also not worth it to try to fight the fire gem. So, if you notice that the fist did not take any damage near the end, that's because it is dead. And now that you see the king is flashing slowly, it is just a time game from there. Once he starts flashing, it's just a matter of time before he starts blowing up. So, really, we should be focusing on surviving, but it's also really difficult because he, you know, stacks his attacks. And he does have the one unmovable attack. Undodgeable. Which is this one right here. There's just no way around it. So, it's unfortunate, but that is basically the sum of the King's Battle. My worst segment on this, like, it took me a half hour on one of my runs to beat the king. That was also the time that I kind of figured out, oh, I shouldn't attack for the lightning because I should just focus on surviving. And when I first learned this game, like I said, there was actually a speedrun page, and there was an actual like speedrun video. And that just kind of doesn't exist anymore. So a lot of this stuff is me relearning basically and routing a game that I had notes for, but I had no evidence of where I got those notes. So, the one thing to note too is that every time you die you lose half your gold, but only on the final boss from what I can tell. That if you die multiple times you actually get an extra orb of health. Which I'm not sure that ever happens in other areas, in other parts of the game. I've never actually noticed. Mostly because you never really die in other parts of the game. Unless if you make some poor choices. As evidenced earlier with the Warden. So the fist is gone, which is good. You can only do so much damage to the ice beam. Okay, and he's flashing now, which is a good sign, but I only have 4 health. That's 2 attacks. so I don't have a whole lot of health or confidence in this, but especially because right here, with his head down, he still has hitbox, and that will damage you. You can't go behind the king either, because he's got a hitbox behind there as well. You know, this is the third time we've entered this fight, and I'm surprised that I still have so much to talk about on this, to be completely honest. That was a poor mistake there. One thing to note is that his first 3 attacks are always the same. It's always the fist, the lightning, and then the fire. With his helmet laser, there are 3 different patterns that he can do. One of them being that he launches the 2 up top, moves down, does the 2 on the bottom, moves up, and then moves down. The other is where he kind of starts in the middle and slowly moves down. And then the third one is where he starts at the bottom and will launch the other lightning attack with that being down. He also shows his, he choreographs his attacks too. His left fist up and going down will launch the fist. If he curls his left fist and then goes down, that's going to be the gem. If he starts moving controls around, that's him moving down. Right fist down will be lightning. And if he grabs the rod in his crown, that's going to lift the rod there. So you can kind of plan out where to go, what attacks are going to be what, all that fun stuff. You can't tell which laser attack he's going to do until he stops where he's going to be. So if he's going to do the top, bottom, he's going to stop at the top. And if he's going to do the slowly moving one, he's going to stop in the middle. And then if he's going to do the unavoidable one, as I'm going to call it, it's probably avoidable, just really difficult, to the point that it's probably not even worth it. So I actually damaged the hand there enough that that's kind of blown up, but it's in a position that doesn't work. So it looks like it's always going to be up, but it's never actually going to do anything. Normally there's an explosion with it. So if you notice behind my splits, there is like a little air vent there. There is one breath attack that I don't have. So I opted to play it safe because I have 1 health left. So apparently his hand still works. I did not realize that. I don't know what happened there. And so time is coming up when the king explodes. There it is, and there's time. So I actually split late. I think this was actually like a 38-22, 23, right around there. Because I was not expecting the explosion on that. So, Dragon is climbing up the tower to save his girlfriend. And this was Dragon, a game about a dragon. I highly recommend this game. It's adorable. It's all like crayon colored pencil drawings with like marker outlines. It's like a children's story turned video game, basically. There's still a lot more to the game, too, that I didn't showcase. Like, there's still a few levels that you don't see. I mentioned a 5th breath attack that we don't get. It's the magic breath, which there's a few things you have to do to get to it, and it's just not optimal for an any percent run. And with that magic breath, attacking the air vent, you can actually damage all of the parts of the king. So, you know, maybe I should look into it. I might look into getting that attack, seeing how much time it takes to get it versus having to fight the king like 3 times. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Dragon, a game about a dragon. And who knows, maybe we'll see some faster times and all that. Like, looking at, I mean, that final boss alone, I can save 6-ish minutes on. The previous world record, which I'm guessing I'm probably the only one that has any memory of it, was like a 27 something or 28 something. So there's plenty of time saves in this run. But also, there can be a lot of frustrating parts. Looking at you, King! Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna let this play out in the credits. It's got a banger of a track. And we'll see you guys next time.